So I want to talk today about how to get better B-roll, because no matter what film you're shooting, you're gonna need B-roll. It's the footage in between your interviews or your main scenes. And I actually have a friend who is amazing at shooting B-roll. No matter where he is, he somehow seems to get amazing shots. So let's go meet up with him. Yo!
It's a big polar bear.
Yeah, it is. It's giant.
It's good to see you, man.
I filmed polar bears before, but they weren't that big.
Oh yeah, for IMAX stuff,
I did.
right?
That was like one of my first jobs. Yeah.
Were you scared at all?
There was one point when the polar bear like tried to jump up into the big truck we were in, and that was kind of scary. The locals were like, they do that all the time.
That's normal.
Yeah. So this is Matti. You've probably seen his channel. He has an amazing YouTube channel. He was the one who actually pushed me to
I'd like to take credit for that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Question is, who thinks that Mark should start his own YouTube channel? I don't know what it's going to be about or what it would be about, but who thinks that you should leave a thumbs up comment if you think Mark should start his own YouTube channel.
But I have a channel now. That's why you're watching this. I almost have as many followers as you. A couple 100,000 off.
You'll get there.
We're getting there. But I wanted to talk to you today, Matti, because I was saying that you're amazing at B-roll. I used to hire you as a cinematographer, and I could put Matti anywhere.
Used to. He's moved it on to bigger and better now.
Exactly. I would put him anywhere in the world, and he'd come back with amazing B-roll. You would just nail it. You could put him in a box, and he'll come out, and you'll be like, what?
I don't know about that.
I'm going to talk to them today about shooting B-roll.
Oh, B-roll's fun. Let's do it.
Yeah. So one of the first tips in shooting B-roll is why. You have to ask yourself, why am I shooting this shot right now? And that's important because when you go to the edit, if you have a bunch of shots that are completely random and don't pertain to your story, you're gonna have so much footage to go through, and it's not actually going to help tell your story. So when I'm shooting, I sometimes pause and ask myself, would I skip over the shot if I was editing the project right now? How does it relate to my story? Because when you only have 90 seconds to tell a story, even if you have 90 minutes, you want to make sure every shot is helping move the story along and tell more about your character or the journey that you're trying to show. And so one of the things I do too to know if my B-roll is going to help the story is I like to shoot my interviews first when I'm doing a documentary so that I can then shoot the right B-roll that will complement what the people are saying. Because sometimes if you shoot all your B-roll first and then you go do the interview, you realize, you know, some of these things might not actually match up. So shoot your interviews first when you can. Matti?
Yeah.
What's one of the mistakes people make when shooting B-roll?
I think one of the mistakes a lot of people do is they just have way too many close-ups. Like every single shot is like a close-up. It'll be like a close-up of this camera and then a close-up of my face, and it kind of gets lost. And then you're also losing the whole context, the environment. Like we're in this really cool place right now. If you were just shooting tights the whole time, you wouldn't show off the environment that we're in and that the environment that the actor or the subject or the person is kind of interacting with. So I think you lose out a lot if you're just doing close-ups the whole time.
It's important to plan your B-roll also because it's going to save you time and you're going to have a better chance of getting nicer stuff than if you just show up somewhere and hope that there's going to be good B-roll. Kind of like what we're doing today.
Yeah, we're doing the exact opposite of this tip.
Yeah, but plan your B-roll. You're going to get way better footage. Another important part of shooting B-roll is determining the tone of your B-roll. And your tone is essentially the mood of it. How does the B-roll make you feel? Because the film you're shooting is gonna have a mood. It's gonna be either a happy film, it might be about a difficult subject, or it might be really sad. So you're gonna want your B-roll to complement that. And the way you set the tone is through your color correction, the time of day you shoot, the camera movement, even sometimes the lenses that you use will express a certain mood. So I did a film last year for a corporation that was trying to help farmers in West Africa, and it had a happy mood. We were trying to show the good work that they were doing and that it was sustainable. So my camera movements were very smooth. I did a lot of big, beautiful, bright shots. You saw the good work that these farmers were able to do. Now, a film like Rescate, it was about a serious subject. So I shot everything very dark, and my camera movements were shaky at times and very aggressive. But you want to make sure that the tone of your B-roll isn't fighting the tone and the mood of the piece. So make sure that your footage is complementing each other.
Mark was saying, should we walk up to the camera or just appear? And I was saying, just cover up with B-roll. That's what it's for, right?
Yeah, if you have good B-roll, you can cover your mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of B-roll, an important part of B-roll is making sure your shots are unique and different.
Heck yes.
Yeah, and you shoot in the same place all the time.
Yeah, that's one of my big challenges, is that like I'm a lot of times just in my office in this random little town where like there's not really that much. Like it's really boring when you think about it. So I'm constantly having to think of like new ways to shoot the same spots, new angles. And I actually, I don't know if you saw, I did a video just like last week where I just went out by myself and I did like a ton of like kind of experimental stuff. I was just like holding the camera and walking and doing weird stuff, just trying new things to make it feel more unique and different from my other stuff.
Do you want to be showing people a new angle and a new experience? And so try to go find a different place. Maybe get up high, shoot from an angle that you normally wouldn't see, because you don't want your B-roll to be boring, because the more repetition or the more people have already seen your shots before, the less they're going to pay attention.
And it's crazy, like the difference between like this angle, and this angle will completely change the frame.
Totally.
Like, it's just like a small tweak and you have a completely new look on that same spot that you've seen a million times.
Exactly. And as I was mentioning just about tone, angles actually really impact the tone. You know, a low angle shows someone of power, a high angle makes someone feel small and timid. There's so many ways.
Mark, it's way too cold out here.
My face is falling off. It's just gonna fall off.
Every time I decide I'm gonna film outside, it ends up being like a minus a million degrees. Why is that?
I said this in my last video. Don't start a YouTube channel in winter. Don't do it.
Worst idea.
So there you go. You want your B-roll to be serving your story. You want it to complement the theme, the tone, and the journey that you're trying to show in your film. So, good to see you again, Matti.
Yeah.
Let's go somewhere that's warm.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of done with this winter.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'm done.
Let's go to Maui.
Yeah, I agree.